Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president.
A resident.
That's right, America. I'm Kevin. I can't hear you.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. And that was our president.
Doing a bang up job.
Bang up job. We are brought to you, like always, by our merch shop, where you get cool shit like, well, I mean, you can get this shirt, but more like Josh's shirt. Boom. Nice. All made, all original, all us.
Link is in the description on YouTube and the first comment in Rumble because I forgot to add it when I was setting up the live stream.
Yeah. So, this week we will be talking about, well, what everybody's talking about, Joe Biden. Will he be president or go run again, or will he be ousted? That's what we're discussing this week. So
It was pretty disgusting, though, Kevin.
it is pretty disgusting. So yeah. Well, Josh, you want to just get right into it?
Yeah.
All right. What were your thoughts on the debate? Joe Biden's performance specifically.
Well, I don't know if I brought it up specifically in our live stream of the debate, since people obviously, if they watch our live stream, know exactly what we thought about it. But I think that other than his lackluster performance, the worst thing that they did for Biden was the side-by-side split screen.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he looked totally lost the entire time. Like, even when they were asking him questions, like, they literally should, if you're going to do him a favor, they should not have had the camera on him unless he was talking.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he was blank staring. He was looking around. It was.
Ask me a question. What does that to do with corn pop?
It was. I don't know. It might have been the worst performance by a president ever in a debate. Easily.
Well, and then their excuse for why he did so bad was he had a cold. Like, so you're saying that he did bad because he had a cold, and then you take him to a Waffle House to shake a bunch of people's hands. This is coming from you need to get vaccinated and wear a mask, and we can't open up the economy or schools and all this from these people. That's what he did. Okay.
Well, I mean, it was, it was something just made up. I mean, they had to make something up. They also tried to blame it on his traveling, but I mean, he was was he at Camp David? Is that where he was?
Yeah, he was at Camp David for a week.
Yeah,
it wasn't
a week.
lag.
If you can't get rested from traveling in a week, you shouldn't travel, period.
Well, and he's on that. It's not like you can't sleep on the plane.
He's on He's on the most luxurious plane
in
existence. It's got a bed
for Trump Force One. I mean, I'm just saying that's swanky, but it's
got a bed in it.
But it throws off his 6-hour workday, Kevin.
Yeah, it's 4 to. What is it, from 11 to 4?
Yeah, or like 10 to 4 or something like that.
Yeah, it was dumb. Nothing past 4
o'clock.
Like, who's president after 4 p.m.? There's a nuclear bomb coming.
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talk to you at 10 o'clock.
We'll talk later.
Well, the funny thing is like, people are trying to get away with saying that, well, they're both horrible. I'm like, I did not think Trump did that bad at all. And everyone's like, he lied about everything. I'm like, yeah, I think he embellished some stuff.
He embellished.
I don't think he lied. Like, Biden blatantly lied.
Yeah.
Well, hell, the moderators lied when they were talking about, oh yeah, your groceries cost you $30 more a thing. I'm like, what? It's like it
I
costs a
saw this
tad bit
one
more
thing
than-
where a guy was posting that the same groceries he bought in 2022 now costs him 3 times as much this year.
Yeah, that's about
It
right.
was like $165 in 2022, and I think this year it was $460.
Well, that's why you can thank Carter for why our inflation number is bogus, because they dropped, I think, food, housing, and energy, like fuel cost, under his administration because inflation was going crazy.
Yeah,
And then inflation on gas was super high because they didn't have enough of it.
yeah, exactly.
So
It was like a fuel shortage was the problem.
well, and you can get the reason why they're able to get away with saying that Trump did a horrible job too is because Biden did so bad, it shadowed the entire debate. So like nobody was really, all eyes were on Biden. I mean,
Yeah.
Trump, it was like a continuation of a Trump rally or Trump being Trump. So Trump was Trump. So like that's why they were saying in order for him to shine through, he's just got to like, I don't know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, Biden was so bad, it literally, for probably one of the few times in his life, it shadowed Trump to where he was almost like nobody talked about him at all.
No,
Other than he was there and was able to walk off stage without any help.
Yeah, he walked off stage. He just walked off stage. That's what he did
With gusto.
with gusto. And Biden had to be helped down the 3 stairs by his weird wife.
And they weren't normal stairs, Kevin. They were small stairs.
I like how they captured his wife. Like when she went all crazy. Like
you did so good.
Yeah, yeah. You answered all the questions like he's a toddler.
Yeah.
It was so demeaning.
Yeah, but yeah, that was that debate is what got everybody talking about what's going on now. So obviously it was a horrendous failure.
It was a horrendous failure.
Yeah.
Because of this, I mean, right after the debate, people were calling for Biden to step away, step down. Almost immediately. News reporters, all that stuff, journalists. Have you ever seen the Democratic Party in this much disarray?
No. Like generally the one thing about Democrats, to their compliment, they do generally walk pretty well lockstep. Doesn't matter how bad the policies are and where they're taking the country. If they're told to vote a certain way or say a certain thing, because that's how they all repeat all the same stuff all day, every day on all these news stations and news clips and all this stuff. I mean, the squad kind of like ticked some people off, but when it came down to brass tacks, they normally get in rank and file. And now you got, I mean, I guess you had Fetterman on Fox News yesterday saying, "Oh yeah, he'd do great for another 4 years." I mean, if the guy's loyal and he may or may not believe that crap, but I was just like, "Oh my gosh, really?" Because he's made some smart comments lately.
I mean, a lot of them are just kind of like on that edge, like they won't say yes or no. Like I think Pelosi won't answer the question. Chuck Schumer has said no, we'll follow Biden, but then like he's talking to donors and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I wouldn't oppose ousting him if we had to." So, I mean, yeah, the Wall Street Journal, which is a huge left, leaning paper, they had like 2 op-eds about him that he should step down. I mean, basically every left-leaning newspaper pretty much said, "Hey, he's got to go," which is weird. Comedians are saying, making fun of him, which never happened. Like the late night show people.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you lose those guys.
Yeah, when you lose Stephen Colbert, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's bad. I mean, did they get caught with their pants down? I mean, covering up Biden's condition, or do you think some were duped? I mean,
maybe some of them, but like the thing is, he wasn't all that different in 2020. He's gotten worse, But like the only time they got caught with their pants down is the people that literally only watch like CNN or MSNBC, NBC, all that crap. But like if you were paying attention, the dude ran from his basement. They didn't want him in public 3 years ago or 4 years
Yeah.
ago. So he hasn't changed. He's gotten progressively worse. He looks worse every year. He looks more and more like the crypt creeper, and somehow
Crypt
his
keeper. Crypt
facial
keeper.
structure seems to have changed.
Yeah. I
And
don't
that's
know.
why people thinks he's either a stand-in or a robot, because if you look at his facial structure from 10 years ago to the day, it does look different.
I mean, would you get a stand-in with dementia?
I mean, I don't know. I
Like,
guess maybe. I'm just saying it's weird.
it's like if you picked a stand-in, that's the worst stand-in ever.
That was that movie, Dave.
Yeah.
It's like that, but horrible.
Yeah.
It's like they got a stand-in from Dave, but then they got like the fourth clone from Multiplicity. And that's what happened.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a clone that went bad.
It's
But
like
they only had time to make the
22
one, so
copies of a copy.
yeah, they just had the time to make the one. The other two were smart enough not
It's
to
like,
do it.
well, this is what we got. Might as well go out there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they're scrambling because during the debate, because they aired that on CNN and Fox News and Max and all those guys streamed it. So people from all sides actually got to finally see it. So there was no cover. And really, the moderators didn't do them any favors.
Well, I mean, they didn't the moderators were actually pretty
I was surprised.
decent. I wouldn't say they're good, great, but I mean they were decent. They weren't, totally anti-Trump and pro-Biden. I mean, I still think they gave him the questions beforehand.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. He probably
Maybe
got
they
mixed up on
mixed
his
them-
notes.
or something, or he just couldn't remember, his lines.
No, yeah, that is true. But I don't know. That was just horrible. It hasn't got any better. I mean, they probably haven't pumped up. But CNN, I think it was CNN, literally had a doctor on saying flat out, he's got dementia.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, they also said he might be Parkinson's, which can lead to
They're both brain degenerative diseases.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was almost so bad you felt bad for him almost. I mean,
Well, and I don't know how much of it is like Jill actually talking to him, like, you're doing so good, Joe. You're the president. You're the man. Or if he's just like stubborn. The dude's want to have been president since the 80s.
yeah.
And he finally magically got 83 million Americans to be like, yeah, I want that guy.
So
like I
if you're
said- Go ahead.
one of those alive, legal 83 million voters, wouldn't you be pissed? that
Yeah,
this
well,
is-
you would think so. But like, I'm sorry. The polls are still, this is how,
The dude's got
bad.
33% approval rating right now. Right now.
well,
Today.
it shows you how bad either subversion has worked, or I would say probably subversion, getting into schools and attacking religion, all that stuff. But like, whatever the plan was has definitely worked. If he still has a 33% approval rating, because this should be a blowout. And I don't care who it is, whether it's Biden or whoever it is. This is just a continuation of Obama's policies, the Democrat policies.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, I mean, he's not president. Let's be real. He's not really president.
he's not running the country. He's the president.
Well, he's president, but he's not running the country. He's not in charge of the executive branch. Who do you think's pulling the trigger? I mean, is it a group effort? Do you think it's Jill Biden? Do you think it's Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi? Do you think maybe it's his advisors and
Well, I'm
all
not
the people?
100% sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a group of people, and I'm not 100% sure how much the executive branch really runs stuff anymore, as much as the bureaucracy runs stuff. Now they've taken a big kick in the teeth because of Supreme
Chevron
Court,
deference?
the Chevron deference coming in. But yeah, I mean, It's a group of people for sure. He's obviously not making any decisions. That's why they're like, oh yeah, we had to wake him up, and it was like 8:30, so he was pretty fast asleep, and he made a snap decision.
Yeah. Oh, Madam Yusuf.
Yeah, I'm a little backed up. That's another thing. He doesn't even control his bowel movements. How can he control the country?
No.
And it makes you feel bad because you're like, we're talking shit about a senior citizen who's got mental decline. That doesn't change the fact that he's wrecked the country and made the world, unstable. Doesn't change that fact.
Which, I mean,
that's why I don't feel bad about it.
I do.
There's an inkling. Like, I want to feel bad.
I mean, there is, because there is still an old man who has mental problems. And if anything, this is elder abuse, and just let this guy, live in a prison cell.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't care. Just give him some ice cream.
I don't even care. Just send him to his Delaware beach house
in his house,
yeah,
and just roll him in there every morning.
Yeah,
yeah. You're making the big calls.
Let him do video calls with Hunter, and while he's in jail,
I seriously doubt he would catch on to the fact that the phone on the desk has the smiley face with the eyes.
Do you think? Okay, so do you think he'll? Do you think if he does get ousted, will he pardon Hunter then?
I think if they actually try to remove him from office, if he loses the election or they try to oust him, he's going to pardon Hunter. If he didn't, I'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised too,
because I'm just assuming that Hunter has a ton of dirt on the Biden family.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you think Trump should handle this? Should he pounce on this opportunity to go after Biden, or should he back off and let them devour themselves?
I think what he's doing now is kind of a good job. I think I would kind of lay back. I wouldn't dump fire or gas on the fire that the Democrats already burning around him. Like, he doesn't need to do that. Like, I would just constantly keep attacking his policies and explaining how Trump's policy is going to be better, but he doesn't really need to do anything right now. And there's nobody in the wings that can take over for Biden. They completely step over Kamala.
Oh, I know.
And then everybody else might be popular in their state, even though I think Gretchen Wilson's victory wasn't like Whitmer wasn't, super big.
That's a country star. That's a country singer.
Yeah, I know. And you corrected me and I went right past it. You didn't have to bring it back up again.
That's because you've done it like 5 times.
Shh. But no, I mean, I don't know, but like I said, supposedly I seriously doubt it was 83 million people, but there were millions of people that voted for Biden. And there's millions of people that are going to vote for Democrats because they want to have the right to kill babies. That's their bag. That's why they're freaking out. They're freaking out because I don't even think they could give a shit about the presidency. They're worried about down balloting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think
in the last election there were no down balloting for Biden votes.
Well, you have 83 million votes, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, we'll talk about down balloting and all that shit here coming up and what's happening. But should Joe Biden step down on his own, not be forced out? Should he just step down? Would the correct thing to do would to step down?
I think if they got wind, if his administration got wind that they were going to pull the 25th Amendment, it would be in his best interest to just step down and resign.
Has that happened before?
Nixon,
that's right.
He spared the country and impeachment and all that stuff and just resigned over some shit that people do all the time now.
Yeah.
Well, except for way worse.
I know.
So that's what's
Nixon's rolling in his grave right now.
I should have stayed in.
Yeah, he should have. He won by what did he win by?
49 states or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he destroyed it. Yeah.
But then, that was the dumbest thing. But people had integrity back then. Politicians don't have any integrity anymore. They don't care.
No, they're the soulless.
The reason why Joe Biden
Bunch of
is
gingers.
president, there you go, is because they only care about power. The reason why they're lying about Biden is they don't care about the country. They don't care about improving things. They care about staying in power. They're deathly afraid of Trump because I think and hope that if he gets reelected, there's going to be, and they're right when they're saying he's going to destroy Washington, blah, blah. As far as the way things go in Washington, yeah, he's going to wreck that. I mean, and that's what needs to happen because our elected representatives, and I would argue even the executive branch, don't really run the country anymore.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know.
All right. If he does step down or gets replaced, who do you think would replace him if this happens?
Well, I don't think. Well, if he steps down, then old Kamala will be president until the election. But I don't know if they would. They don't have to pick her as their nominee. So, like, if he resigned before the election and before Trump took office or whatever, Kamala would be the president.
Yes.
But I seriously doubt they would be dumb enough to pick her as the nominee.
I mean, what if he does it after, the party votes where DNC runs their votes?
They just would be screwed. Whatever happens at the DNC, I mean, I'm sure they could do a quick vote to throw somebody's name on it, but I'm pretty sure after the convention, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you basically be scrambling to throw like a third party person in, from my understanding, because like he would have all the delegates. So what he could do though is he could pick somebody and be like, I'm giving. I think, but I don't know.
I feel
if that
like
really
that's too
works.
much power, right?
Well, Nikki Haley just gave all her delegates to Trump, but I don't know if he can still do that after the convention.
That's what I'm saying. If it happens,
We've never really been in a situation like this before. So
we have not. And what I hear Biden say, well, Biden said, if they try to take me down, I'll take them all down with me. So he's obviously got some shit on some people.
Oh,
so I don't know if this is going to happen. He's been in Congress for 50 fucking years. Congress or, vice president or president since like he was 39.
Well, I think that's how you make it in Washington as far as influence peddling and blackmail. It's like that one dude who was in the wheelchair who got voted out because they found some spring break pictures of him wearing a bikini top, which, I mean, if he was Democrat, he would have swept it. But I think it was him who said they try to invite you to these parties where they do questionable things, and it's all about blackmail and extortion. So, yeah, I'm sure he's got dirt on tons of people.
Yeah.
That all got, a little bit. All these politicians, and it's on the Republican side too, but I'm sure there's tons of dirt on Democrats. But like all these politicians, they get rich somehow by going to Washington making $170,000 a year. Yeah. So it's like, there's something.
Obviously, there's something. I mean, it's obviously corrupt as fuck in Washington. I mean, let's just be real. It's a corrupt place. And I don't know how you could ever get away from the corruption. I know some senators are trying to, bipartisan bill to make it so, they can't trade on the stock exchange. But even then, they're just going to go them or their significant others or their immediate family. But they can just go to your cousin.
Does that stop their stockbroker?
Yes.
There'd be no way to stop. You basically have to find out if they did insider trading and then prosecute somebody for it and actually throw them in prison.
And I don't know if they ever would.
Yeah, so I don't know. All
right, well, here's the last question on Joe Biden. Do you think for the good of the nation and the people that the 25th Amendment should be acted on, even if it's not as good for the Republicans in this year's election?
I don't know.
There's still 190 some days left of his presidency.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it would be better for the Democrats if they did it. But
I think it's better for the nation. I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think he's been really doing much of anything since 2020 or 2021.
No, I know.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You're
would
right.
rather have somebody who really hasn't been running the country still there than Kamala getting in and being like, I'm president now. I'm doing whatever the hell I want. Because I could see her like, no, I'm the president.
Well, here's a scenario, and I gave it to you a little earlier. If he has 25th Amendment, the amendment, 25th Amendment pops up to where he's not capable of running the country, wouldn't Kamala wouldn't she like be partial or like be able to be impeached for covering up his impairment? Because this
Well, your
dementia
impeachment
and
is high
Parkinson's,
crimes and misdemeanors, though.
it's a cover up. It's fraud.
Hmm.
You're defrauding the country.
But you're also talking about personal perspective.
It's not
Kind of
personal
like
perspective.
my definition.
If they actually did have a Parkinson doctor go into the White House 8 times this year, and that's what was reported.
Well, yeah, but he would have to be diagnosed with it, and she would have to see it. I'm just saying it wouldn't work.
I don't know.
I don't think it would. You'd have to prove that she knew it, and then knowingly,
So the American people can see one night that this dude's not right. She
They don't
works
see it
for
in
him,
the
works
phone,
with him day by day, or at least talks to him probably daily. You can't tell me she can't. Like this is fine. Well, I mean, she talks like an idiot as well, but still.
Here's the thing, though. So impeachments take a while. She would be president. So if they did the 25th Amendment, Kamala's president. She is going to pick
Yeah, she'll make it through.
a vice president.
Yeah.
So the only way, like the Speaker of the House,
does she get to
president,
assign a vice president that way?
Yeah, you have to have a vice president.
Does she assign it though?
I would.
Where's it go to? Maybe the House,
I don't know.
or does everybody just move up one? I don't know.
I don't know if that's ever happened, but because I mean, back in the day, the loser, like whoever,
there's
lost
been
the election,
assassinations and shit to where the vice president.
Well, I think back in the day, whoever lost the election was the vice president.
Yeah,
and then they changed it to where you pick your own VP. So
when they do that,
I don't know.
It's dumb.
Oh, by the way, the chat is on. It's a pretty decent delay, but if you do chat or comment in the live chat, we will respond.
Yeah, so if you have any questions or comments about Joe Biden and his mental capabilities to run this country, please
comment below.
Comment. Just comment wherever, I guess. I mean, is it below? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe somebody's got their screens where it's above it. I'm not going to tell people how to run their shit. Just, comment.
Yeah, just chat or comment, okay?
And also hit that fucking like button too, Yeah,
like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever.
Yeah, all that shit. And if you're not watching us live, still do that shit.
Yes, because this will be re-released on Monday.
Monday with the audio version as well. All right, Josh, do you have anything else on Joe Biden and this whole debacle?
No, I mean, it's embarrassing for him. I think it's even more embarrassing for his family because they're the ones pushing to keep him in. And it's kind of embarrassing for the country.
It's really embarrassing for the
country. I mean, I am not personally embarrassed because I didn't vote for him. But if you did, you should be super embarrassed.
I mean, okay, one more question. Enemies of the United States. I mean, they got to be salivating right now, right?
Well, I think they're nervous.
Why would the enemies be nervous?
Because he's doing so bad, and I don't think the enemies like Trump.
Oh, yeah. I'd be nervous that way, so maybe they'll just up their plans a little bit.
Well, if you notice, when somebody asked Putin about it and Trump saying he's going to end it, he didn't talk shit.
No.
He's normally very dismissive.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's a serious situations. I will drink the vodkas and we will see.
Was that verbatim?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was verbatim.
That was verbatim.
That was a quote. Not really, but yes, it was.
All right, Josh. I have nothing else.
So if you have nothing else, I mean,
you know what time it is?
In my book, you're a winner too.
I think you're a loser.
Winners and losers of the week. And Josh, like always,
I think that we're. Oh wait, yeah, maybe.
What?
It's still loading.
What is?
Hold Hold
I
on.
saw it.
In my book, you're a winner too.
Did you?
I think you're
Did
a
you
loser.
hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Oh, yep, there it is. So it's playing twice.
What are you watching on the YouTubes?
No, I was watching on my end. I never heard it or saw it.
I heard it immediately. You played it while I was talking, so it was really hard to.
Well, I thought there was a delay. Maybe there's not. This is the first time we've tried to do it.
I can tell you what, we're gonna get better. I think
it will get better
or worse. I don't know.
Figure this stuff out.
So
yeah, winners and losers of the week.
All right, Josh. As always, let's start with the downside.
My loser of the week is George Clooney. Not only because he's a far left-wing D-bag actor who thinks he's smarter than everybody because he talks so smooth, but he turned around and conned his friends out of millions of dollars. And they turned around and be like, hey, you know what? Take the tax write-off. My bad.
That's what somebody say? They're like, it's like the new movie Ocean's 14, where George Clooney cons his friends out of $30 million for a demented old man.
I think I just would have kept my mouth shut. Like him coming out and saying something, it was like,
how do you say that 3 weeks ago you felt you knew this, and then you're like, I should probably say something now. I mean, you're a spineless D-bag. You're a piece of shit. So yeah, that's a good loser. Mine is the media. Because fuck you. From everything from you, everybody was saying, "Oh, he's sharp as a tack." I just talked to him yesterday, and man, he was full of vigor and fucking goody shoes and whatever,
Yeah, goody shoes, not those crappy shoes.
Well, he had the moon boots on, or the moon shoes, so he doesn't fall.
He does wear red shoes. They're probably like super
I call
heavy.
them goody shoes.
He's probably got an exoskeleton under his pants so he can lift his 400-pound shoes so he can't fall over. Like physically cannot fall over.
So the media just pretty much just, yeah, he's great, he's good, he's sharp as a tack, and all of a sudden he has that horrible performance on debate night, and they're like, get him the fuck out of here. This guy sucks. He's done. It's it's just ridiculous that anyone, I don't think really anybody has the trust in the media, but if you're like, hey, I don't know. Why would you believe the media at all?
Well, they've just been caught lying so many times that, like, I think at this point you have to get your news from multiple sources to get more. And I'm not, granted, I listen to Fox a lot, but I mean, you have to get it from multiple sources.
Yeah,
especially because you don't know who commentators and anchors are or whatever. Like what's supposed to be straight news and what's supposed to be commentary.
Yeah,
like especially on mainstream media, it is super blurry because it's all commentators.
Well, I mean, half the news media anymore are former, presidential staffers or whatever on both sides. I mean,
Fox hires all the Republicans.
Yeah, then
then CNN hires a Republican and fires her 3 days later.
Yep. Not even a good Republican, like one of the worst, who constantly ran horrible like Republican, she was Senate races and House races. Yeah, she gave the money to like everybody she shouldn't.
It's like, this person's going to lose. I'm going to give him more money.
Romney.
That's a weird name.
It's a Romney. She was a Romney, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, Josh, who was your winner?
My winner was George Stephanopoulos, and not for something he did intentionally, but what gives a lot of, I guess, credence to all the stuff they're talking about Biden is this dude who spent a lot of time with him, spent time in the interview, came out. And okay, if you're famous or you're on TV and someone asks you a question on the street, they're recording you. And he's like, oh yeah, he definitely should step down or whatever he said.
He said he definitely can't make it another 4 years.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? You're my winner because you actually told the truth for once. I hope it didn't hurt.
There's some news company that is, I can't remember which one. Maybe it's CNN. I can't remember. But what they're going to do is they're going to play a Biden interview Then right afterwards, they're going to play the unedited Biden interview. So I'm like, what? It's like, when you used to buy Blu-rays and they had like the theatrical version, and right after the theatrical version, they had the the
Like
unrated cut.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why don't you just play the I don't know. It's just like, why don't you just play the unedited one in the first place? It's just weird. All right, well, my winner is Supreme Court because they had some pretty major rulings. We'll go through them a little later. Obviously, Chevron deference. Then they had the Trump immunity or the presidential immunity, not the Trump immunity. What other ones do they have? There was the one where cities can now take care of their own homeless problem and not have to deal with the federal or something like state or federal laws on how they control their own homeless problem. There was another one too, and I can't remember it. Man, I should have wrote those down.
Well, I know one wasn't like, I think it was one of those where they didn't make the case right, but it was a 2A one that didn't go as well as we'd like.
Yeah. I mean, they did pretty good. So I was happy with Chevron deference because that's a huge one. We'll get into it later, like I said. So yeah, Supreme Court. You're doing well. You're the best Supreme Court we've had since, and you're not even that great, but you're doing better.
It just seems like you've been trending toward the Constitution lately, and we really appreciate that.
There were a couple that this year that I don't know why they didn't go for.
Yeah.
But I can't remember those either.
Well, a lot of times if they don't rule on something is because the basis that they had their case on wasn't right. It's not like they're saying you're wrong. You presented it the wrong way.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. The Jan 6th one for the.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. That's one I forgot. January 6th.
January 6th, and then all the immunity stuff for Trump. So, which is going to make him, he can murder people in the street and use SEAL Team 6 and blah, 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 blah.
Yep. So that was our winners and losers. And speaking of Trump, it's time for Trump Truth.
Trump Truth. And then you'll have to let me know if it plays because apparently I can't see it.
What I say is what I say.
All right. It did play.
All right.
Did you not see it?
No, I just get a blank screen. And I'm the one playing it.
That's so weird. All right. So I got to read this one off my phone because it's a long one.
All right.
Well, my Trump Truth was... Why is it not opening? Hold on. It was just there. So now, fake movie actor George Clooney, who never came close to making a great movie, is getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything? He uses the Democrat talking points that Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, has saved our democracy. No, Crooked Joe was the one who weaponized law enforcement against his political opponent, who created the most devastating inflation in the history of our country, who embarrassed our nation in Afghanistan, and whose crazy open border policy has allowed millions of people to illegally pour into our country. Many from prisons and mental institutions. Crooked Joe Biden didn't save our democracy. He brought our democracy to its knees. Trump Truth.
Trump Truth.
I have
what I say is what I say.
I got a short one if you want me to read it real quick too.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
I got the price of insulin for seniors brought way down. Not Biden. He just inherited this and many other things. And then always tries to take credit for it. He's done nothing but destroy our country. And that is absolutely true. Biden pretty much takes a lot of stuff that Trump implemented. Yeah. Other than the border stuff. So that's
same
weird.
thing with NATO.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, there's more countries paying now, and 80% of all the countries that are paying more is because of Trump and agreements they had already set in with Trump.
Yeah.
But if you don't have people catching you on your lies, then it is. So, all right, we'll roll into the happenings of the week. Let's see how well this one works.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
It worked.
Sweet.
It's weird you can't see it. That's right.
That one I saw the very end.
All right. Happens of the week. Supreme Court decisions. Chevron deference, which basically limits the power of the three-letter agencies and OSHA and stuff like that from making laws themselves. And so good on that. Bureaucracy's not controlling this country. So hopefully, they abide by it.
Well, yeah, but we celebrate Supreme Court wins, but then again, like Supreme Court said that Biden couldn't forgive college tuition.
That's what I'm saying. If they abide by it, because I just don't know who enforces them.
Well, it'll be the DOJ.
Yeah, no,
so that's the problem. I almost think the DOJ should be part of the judicial branch.
Yeah,
and overseen by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I also believe so.
Because, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
I mean, now, does Congress, are they the ones
executive branch?
But who's the one who sets a special counsel? I guess that's Congress, isn't it?
Supposed to, yeah.
So I guess theoretically they could do that.
Unless, except for Jack Smith.
Yeah.
Jack Smith was not appointed by Congress. He was appointed by Garland.
Well, yeah.
And he wasn't supposed to be. So that's... I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how the whole thing works. Got a flood warning.
Oh.
Mississippi's high. Whatever.
Mississippi.
All right. Well, yeah, then Chevron deference. January 6th. I think it was... What was it? The DOJ overstepped their prosecution on what they charged a lot of the people who went into the Capitol with. I can't remember what the charge was. God, I can't remember what it was, though.
That should do pretty good.
Yeah, so I think hundreds of people might be set free because they charged a lot of people and prosecuted a lot of people on this charge.
Man, I tell you what, the delay on the YouTube is super long.
Yeah.
Yeah, way behind Rumble.
Now,
which means you should be watching us on Rumble.
X is not bad. It's about a minute.
Just now played the What's Happening thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is super far behind. What else? Supreme Court decisions. The homeless thing. So that's pretty cool.
We just got done talking about those because you're just Supreme Court. Yay.
Yeah, okay.
You're on the next one, Kevin. Come on.
All right. The SAVE Act. Basically saying that you had to have a document saying that you're a U.S. citizen to vote in federal elections. And this one...
That sounds like a horribly racist law, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, good thing the Democrats were there to try to save you with this. Get it? No. They 198 of them voted no to the SAVE Act, saying, it's racist to, make people show documents that they're a citizen.
Yeah, because I guess what they're saying is minorities have no ability to prove that they're citizens because of
they're not so, I mean, that's not racist.
Like, they're like one step below wearing the robes and the cloaks or the caps.
No one sees it.
With how racist they are when racism through
pity or something.
Tip my tongue. No, it's like low expectations.
Yeah.
Like, just horrendously racist.
I know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what?
Yeah,
do you think minorities just don't know how to do things? I mean,
that's what they think. I mean,
it just
they literally
weird.
thought that like black people didn't know how to get a driver's license.
But let's be real. The real reason they want this to not go through, and it's not going to. It is definitely. It has 100%
Biden
chance.
Flat out said that it won't.
He will veto it. So if through the Senate, if they get like 2 or 3 people through the Senate to vote for it from the Democrat side, and I think there probably is at least 2 people that would probably vote for this. I would if I was on any border state.
I think
any purple state, I would vote for it. If I'm from a purple state, I would vote for it.
Well, and then, I mean, that's what they use though. Just to be like, oh, it's because it's racist.
It doesn't matter. I mean, can you understand the political fallout from this? If your opponent, whoever you're running against, says yes, we have legal immigration problem, and this person voted to allow illegal immigrants to vote, to take away your vote.
It's almost like if you're running for governor and the person you're running against was the person that was in charge of the election. And then the
Almost.
most populated county in the state didn't get
Yeah,
the vote.
this happened to
It's almost kind of like that.
almost.
So I'm just saying.
Not looking at you, Arizona.
I'm going to just say.
Yeah. It might have been another state named rhyming with Bearizona.
Yeah. And Arizona's bad.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if it got, and I don't know if they can retain the House and take the Senate. And this year, I would revisit that and actually pass that into law.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid that we even have to do this stuff, but they just
because
watered down the
it
voting.
says already that you have to be a citizen to vote.
Yeah, but now you have to prove it.
Yeah. Well,
Which,
they probably didn't think there'd be, this problem.
Well, there's a decent percentage of the people in this country that are not U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like people that are legally here that aren't citizens. So it's like,
yeah, it's like 83 million. Just if I was going to throw a number out there,
you'd have to bring a passport or your
probably not 83 million, probably like 30.
I bet it's probably 20 or 30 million, which would be about 10% of the population.
Yeah, I would guess that.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, and that if no one checks, it's not that, especially in like states that don't even like check IDs or anything, or any kind of form of who you are.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is like check a box saying, yes, that's me. I am.
Now you start catching people like illegally checking that box and throwing them in prison. Less people might do that.
But no one does it. No, you can't even go after fraud anymore. Even when Trump tried to like take cases to court, they threw him out immediately because it would disrupt the system.
Well, that's what pisses me off, though, when they're like, he had 60 days and he had his time. No, he didn't.
No.
And then some of them were saying, well, we can't try this until after the election, or basically, after Biden is seated as president and it's ratified, then we can sue and then, deal with that. So I don't know.
SAVE Act went through the House. Let's see if it goes to the Senate. I think there was 5 Democrats that voted for the SAVE Act on the House side. So good for them.
Yeah.
NATO. You want to talk about NATO?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand through that big, long. Here's what I understand. So if anybody in the world attacks a NATO country, all of NATO attacks them? Or is it just Russia?
I don't know.
Because NATO was formed as an answer to the USSR.
Yeah.
That's why it was formed. Because after World War II, the USSR was big and strong, and they're a little, hey, these guys are looking at us funny. Looking at us side, he's giving me the side eye. We should make a pact. But now they're saying like, we had to have it, blah blah blah. Because look what Russia did to Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, Russia invaded Ukraine because Biden's weak, and they knew it was going to happen for a while, and there's nothing
Ukraine
they could do to stop it.
Ukraine's not NATO.
It's not NATO, and so, see, that's why. Like, so what does it matter? I was like, well, if they get done with Ukraine, they could attack a NATO country, and we'd be in a hot war. Well, you know what? If they attacked a NATO country, it'd be a short hot war.
Yeah, let's look at Russia. It's been 3 years.
Yeah,
and they've got 3 regions. All they've accomplished is taking 3 small regions of one they already had was Crimea. All they have is 3 small regions of Ukraine. They can't get past the Ukrainian army. I mean, granted, with some of our weaponry, but still, you're Russia. You were a world superpower. I wouldn't say
the USSR was a world superpower.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think people are inflating Russia with the USSR.
Yeah.
I think that's where they got a lot of their talent because they had a larger, talent, basin to pull their talent out of. So
I mean, China's just got to be salivating. I mean, there's got to be Love
Oh,
it.
I'm sure. So, like, okay, so if China attacks a NATO country, does everybody attack? I mean, it might be. And if that's the case, that's cool. But, Biden talking all this shit about Trump wanting to get rid of NATO. Like, no, Trump's like, this is the agreement. You're going to abide by the agreement.
That was
or we're
it.
not going to protect you, period.
Yeah, and NATO's never had as much funding as they have right now because everybody's paying their fair share thanks to Donald Trump. Everybody's paying 2% of their GDP to NATO. It was the
Yeah.
agreement. And some countries were paying 0 to like 0.1%. No one but the US. I think the US was like over like almost 3% because they were covering for everybody else. And Donald Trump was like, fuck you. We'll pull out before I put another penny in this place unless you pay your fair share.
Yeah. And basically, all he was saying is the countries that aren't paying their fair share aren't going to get protection.
Yeah.
So
It's
crazy, Kevin.
Hunter Biden has been allowed in White House meetings.
I understand that. So I know Biden's
So is
president.
Joe Biden, by the way.
Yeah, and Joe Biden's an idiot. Everyone in that family is an idiot.
Dr. Joe Biden, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A doctor of education, so
Which is so much worse. She's a doctor of education and she's dumb.
it shows how good her fucking schooling is.
And like she was literally the nanny.
Yeah.
So yeah, weird. But like I guess because you're the president and you can deem whatever's class. I don't think the president can give people clearance. All he can do is be like, I'm deeming this meeting unclassified or this document unclassified or whatever. He can do that because like, how do you have a convicted felon? Because like, if you're a convicted felon, you're not getting clearance.
No.
And yeah, and then why? Oh, they just want to have the family close and blah blah. And it's probably just Hunter being like, "Hey man, I got 2 laptops. All right, they got the good one. Okay, so I'm gonna be around, and you're gonna fly me around your big old plane. I'm gonna hit the mini bar. Okay, I'm gonna hit it hard, and you're gonna take me places, and then I may or may not show up with people following me with lights, but you're gonna take me on the plane. We're gonna take it back. Okay." Because like the guy Hunter Biden's an idiot. I've seen his interviews. Like, what could he literally offer to the table?
Joe Biden once said that he's the smartest man he's ever met.
Well, there you go.
So, not saying much, but I mean, the dude knows how to launder some money. So,
I guess he might have been smart at one point back in the day, and then just got really dumb.
well,
Crack
kills the old brain cells, buddy.
It's like, oh man, what happened? Crack.
So I don't know. I just find it weird that Hunter Biden's in meetings.
Yeah.
This is something that came by and not TikTok, but X this today. Shout out to X. We're live on X as well. So
if you're on watching us, you already know this.
Yes. If you're not, then you
well,
want
currently nobody's watching us, so it doesn't matter.
We have 0 views.
I mean, we have me
and me. Florida bans lab-grown meat.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that lab-grown meat is going to have some of those. I have no idea, but where are these? What the heck is that stuff? Are there forever molecules, particles? Have you not heard of that?
No,
it's something to do from industrial manufacturing, but there's like these. I guess they're particles that don't break down, and some people are saying they're in our food, stuff like that. But like, why the hell would anybody want to eat that? If you can come up with a food replicator, cool.
Yeah,
that literally atomizes or rearranges atoms into a big T-bone steak, then I'm cool with that.
I don't have to cook; just order it.
I've seen this lab-grown meat, and it's gross.
It looks gross. It's like a blob.
It's like 3D printed garbage.
Yeah, I think that's basically what it is.
Yeah. Nope.
So,
Florida also did something else, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. I sent you that today. Wow. They have ammo vending machines.
Yeah. I think Texas is a little behind, needs to catch up because that.
I think
awesome.
Texas might too.
I mean, not around here.
Not around where you are, but I think they do somewhere.
That is great.
Like all you do is it takes a picture of you, you put your ID in, it matches the ID picture to your picture, and takes your name and information, which I don't like.
I don't like that part.
But then you put your debit card in or whatever, debit or credit card, and you just pick what ammo you want and boop, right out the bottom of the fucking vending machine.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the ID stuff, but the fact that somebody came up with
But I
an
mean, I
ammo
get it. 'Cause
dispensing vending machine.
It's got to match away because it doesn't know. You know.
You have to be 18 to buy ammo.
Yeah.
Or maybe 21 now. I don't know.
I don't know what the age limits are. Once I got past 21, I gave it shit.
I know I'm old enough and I don't give a shit.
That's exactly how I feel. Fuck you, I'm old enough. Doesn't matter. I got a card the other day for beer. Nice.
Even with half your face being gray.
I didn't get it either.
You know, they probably thought that you were like trying to do some neo funk thing. And you actually
maybe they
made...
thought like maybe I shaved some pubes, dyed them fucking gray, just put them on a little face.
Is there
we go pube.
I'm not going to limit
Pube beer.
Seriously doubt they thought that. But you never know.
You never know.
That is true.
Well, you never know what people think. God, man. Stop being so box.
Well, that's true.
Gotta think outside the box. That's how people think.
Your box is gross.
I'm always outside the box, buddy. Outside the box, stepping on lines. That's where I am. Dick jokes and pube hair.
Let's go ahead and move on past that.
Project 2025.
I just recently heard of this, like last week.
Yeah. That's because the Biden administration keeps bringing it up.
All it is a right-wing conservative wish list.
It's 920 pages.
Yeah, it's just it has nothing to do with Trump. Trump didn't have, it had something to do with the guy. I think the president of Hillsdale College had something to do with it.
Yeah, and Heritage Foundation.
It's like a wish list of stuff that they would like to see happen. So they're using this as like some kind of like manifesto on, this is what he's going to do. And, and it's like, and I agree with a lot of stuff in it. I'm not going to lie.
I agree with it. Yeah. From what I've heard of it, I agree with it.
I mean, it talks about eviscerating Washington, getting rid of all the bureaucracy. They do want to ban abortion federally. I don't think you can technically do that. Without, like we said, without an amendment. Of course, we might be dead wrong and stupid. I don't know. But, I mean, it's just a lot of, getting rid of illegals, shoring up our borders, stuff like that.
Did you hear Ben Shapiro pretty much destroy Eric Swalwell or whatever his name is? Eric Swallow.
Eric Swallows well.
When he's talking to Ben Shapiro about Project 2025.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You should watch that clip.
I will look it up.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny because
it's not hard to beat that dude.
He pretty much goes, "All right, you Democrats keep saying Project 2025 like it's Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, and the more you say it, the more your president will become alive."
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's a pretty good line.
That was a good line.
Yeah. So, I don't have anything else on what's happening in the week.
That only leaves one thing, Kevin.
That's right. White slur of the week.
White slur of the week. Pause.
What's a honky?
Never gets old.
It does not. My white slur of the week is Ritz cracker. Ritz cracker, same as cracker, but describes rich white people instead of just white people. So
makes sense. They're buttery and delicious.
I can tell you what, I'll never be called a rich white cracker if you people don't share, subscribe, and comment and like.
Exactly. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. And that was White Slur of the Week.
What's a honky?
It's fantastic. All right. Well, I want to say thanks to everybody who watched us live. I don't know if anyone did.
Now we got some viewers on and off. We got quite a few. Well, we have 3 on Rumble now. They popped in right at the end. So,
well, I would,
That's
that's
the
when my
best
White
time.
Slur of the Week comes on.
well, the
it's
good
like,
thing is they popped in right during the White Slur of the Week. So,
good for them. We had 4 viewers on, 3 viewers on X because I'm one of them. So 3 viewers on X off and on. So
well, we're gonna do this every week. We're gonna see how the upload and downloading and stuff and the quality of. Because I'm basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this live stream and I'm just gonna re-upload it into our normal videos on Monday, so the audio versions will still come out on Monday as well as video. But
yeah. So yeah, hopefully keep joining us every Thursday at 7:30. There's a few weeks here and there where me or Josh will have to either go solo or we'll need your audience participation. So hopefully tell your friends, family, enemies, lovers. I don't know. Tell everyone.
Tell everybody.
About us. And tell them to watch us 7:30 on Thursdays. Every Thursday. Yeah. So that's it.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Remember to buy our shit.
Buy our shit. Don't forget, don't be boring. Be a pirate.
Thank you, everyone.